For almost a month, Amber has desperately been trying to convince the world Johnny is the worst kind of monster. But in her testimony, she often looks confused and incoherent, and some of her stories sound too illogical to be true. People are starting to think that the real monster is Amber, and her biggest mistake was to try and sue Johnny.
I don't see him anymore. It wasn't him. It was black. I've never been so scared in my life. It was black. I couldn't see him.
Amber considered herself a champion for voiceless women, and in 2018 wrote an article about women suffering under men. Johnny believes that article ruined his life and his career.
What have you lost as a result of Miss Heard making these allegations against you?
Nothing less than everything. Nothing less than everything.
But now, Johnny is fighting back. Amber thought she can use Johnny's own lawsuit against him to ruin him even more while making herself look good.
He was also this other thing. And that other thing was awful. Awful thing that would come out.
Amber tries her best to show evidence in court to help with her portrayal of Johnny as the monster. But even that looks like it might backfire on her. One of the most shocking videos is one she recorded herself, showing Johnny angry and upset and lashing out at cupboards. This was to show how bad his temper can get, and why, according to her, she was often scared of him. But here's the really strange thing. Listen to Amber's voice while she is secretly recording.
What happened? What happened? Yeah, you're right. I just woke up and you were so sweet and nice. We were not even fighting this morning.
Does Amber's body language and her calm voice sound like someone who is scared for her life? Yet that is what she was trying to portray to everyone. But Johnny had a really good response. Just listen.
I did not try to intimidate Miss Heard. If she was intimidated, why was she filming? If she was scared to death, why didn't she leave?
Another important thing in Johnny's body language is that he is carrying a glass in his right hand.
It's important to remember that Johnny is right-handed, so by doing that, he was effectively neutralizing the hand he was using to break stuff. That's why the kicks to the kitchen were with his right foot.
After analyzing both Johnny and Amber's behaviors, some behavioral experts are also convinced that Johnny had no intention at all to intimidate Amber, let alone to do anything worse to her.
Both the direction of Johnny's anger and the fact that he was disabling his dominant hand were signals that he was not that much of a threat to Amber at that moment. And that must be the reason she was calm and even provoking him.
But watch how Amber tries really hard in court to make it seem as if she had such a hard time rewatching the video that she set up. She even flinches at the sound of a glass, a sound in the video that was made by her. It does seem a bit strange that Amber looked so calm while she was filming the video and possibly taunting Johnny. But in court, in front of an audience, she suddenly seemed disturbed and upset by it. And even Johnny found it a bit funny when Amber's lawyer tried to push him in a corner.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint?
Yeah.
I poured myself a large glass of wine.
Right.
I thought it necessary.
If her intention was to paint Johnny as the monster, not everyone fell for it. Fans were quick to say Amber faked the entire thing.
She's the most relaxed, terrified person I've ever seen.
Amber Heard is humiliating herself to the world.
Exactly. If you're in the kitchen with a guy acting like this, you don't stay recording. You get out. Full stop, she's a liar.
Another trick Amber used to make Johnny look bad to the jury was this photo of him asleep with melted ice cream on his lap. She wanted to convince everyone he was under the influence and passed out and unable to hold up his own ice cream. But Johnny's story is different. And if his version is true, it really does paint Amber as the real villain here.
Miss Heard asked me to hold the ice cream as she noticed that I was on the nod. That means falling asleep from the 17-hour day that I'd worked. And if you'll notice, my right hand is in my pocket. So I wasn't participating in the festival of ice cream.
So, according to Johnny, Amber deliberately planned the photo just to later use it to make Johnny look bad.
Because she knew what was going to happen. And I would fall asleep and it would drop. And that was a wonderful picture to take for her.
And that's why people are finding her so hard to believe. There are signs that her mask is slipping. The most obvious sign of concern in Amber's performance is that despite her raw and emotional state, do you see any tears in her eyes?
I've worked on a lot of high-profile cases. I have never seen this type of demeanor and theatrics ever in any case I have ever worked on. This is the worst performance of Amber Heard in her career.
Even experts are really struggling to believe her stories. Amber keeps saying in her testimonies, "I don't remember."
I don't know how that night ended. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember.
On the contrary, her stories are actually layered with detail. And that, according to experts in the field, is a big problem.
With a trauma victim, you would expect to have much more fragmented memories and missing pieces. And you don't have that here. You have a lot of detail. And so that, to me, is a little suspicious.
What's even more suspicious is when we compare Amber's performance in this new trial to her demeanor and body language in 2016, when she told the same stories.
My sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself like in the line of fire, or she just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop.
In this new testimony, Amber seems fragile and emotional. But watch her anger and aggression towards the lawyers when she told them the same story in 2016.
I don't know what I did, but I know I jumped in between the actions that I saw. I don't know what part of my body I put in between me and him and her, but I would have done anything.
So why the difference in attitudes? Well, maybe because now she has a jury to convince, and she has to give the performance of her lifetime to get everyone to feel sorry for her and to be on her side. But in 2016, there was no jury and there was no audience. We can clearly see that the true Amber is a lot meaner. But there's another big difference between the two stories. Pay really close attention this time.
My sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself like in the line of fire.
I jumped in between the actions that I saw. I don't know what part of my body I put in between me and him and her.
So who did actually jump in? Was it Amber or Amber's sister? Amber has tried her best to destroy Johnny and to ruin his name and his reputation in her quest to make him look like the monster. But just her fashion choice alone in the first days of court when she copied Johnny's outfits really does make you wonder who is the real villain here.
I don't know what kind of strategy was that, or who was giving her advice, but what I can tell you is that if she wanted to look like the victim, she was getting the opposite effect.
Throughout the trial, Johnny has remained calm and consistent. Yes, he is also an actor, but experts agree that Johnny's versions of events are more believable.
Consistency builds credibility. It's one of the keys to trust. That consistency says to you, it has unconscious messages to the listener, which says this man is consistent.
No one is saying that Johnny is an angel, but Amber's mask is starting to slip, and more people are taking Johnny's side. So who do you trust more, Johnny or Amber? Let us know what you think, and stay tuned for more celebrity bombshells.